look like someone who has many stories to tell.
The FC's no friend of you and me.
Galactic star continues to take a power.
Down with the FC! Well, I want it torn down, of course. The fact that there's even an embassy for them here after what they did, it's infuriating. Tear it down. Tear it all down. Ha! Diplomacy? That doesn't mean anything to the FC. They'll break any law and treaty that they feel like. It doesn't matter to them. What's my problem with them? Really? I'm keeping the FC accountable for the terrible things they've done. The Colony War was an unforgivable tragedy. Countless lives could have been spared, but the Freestar Collective was out for blood. The Freestar Collective took my father away from me. But that's not what I want. I don't want us to move on. I want people to wake up and realize what the FC did to us, and I want them to be angry. I want justice and closure for everyone in the UC. Back to business.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but I've got nothing. So instead, I thought I would quote something that gave me comfort a long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine? Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder, it exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure that it may only be understood as primordial and even divine. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind, but what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny whitecaps on a massive surging sea. There's more, but those are the parts that speak to me the most. Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you. Does anyone else want to say anything? Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
I don't often speak about what I believe in. It seems so redundant with how I live. But death is one of those occasions where it's hard not to look inward. Our friend is gone. There's no afterlife, or second meetings. No God in heaven that is curating a perfect ending for them. So it's up to us. We are what lives on. If the pain of loss inspires us to greater action, then that is the good that comes from it. Humanity is what truly creates our world. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil, joyful or mournful. Let us take responsibility for it. Let us remember what we have lost.
Walter, are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Yes, well, I like to keep some things private.
You all might not like thinking about this, but when we die, everything about us breaks down, decomposes, gets eaten up by insects and microbes. Or due to the lack of a biosphere, we're simply carried away by space and time until we sizzle in a distant sun's corona, or get pulled in some gravitational field and coalesce with other debris. Not comforting, huh? But I disagree. Do you know what I find uncomfortable? The thought that after I die, the universe is just going to stand still forever. Could you imagine? The fact is that the universe goes on, that life goes on, that things do not just sit still. That right there is the comfort that I need. Yeah, we die, and some people go way before they should. But the universe doesn't care, not because it's evil, but because it's infinite. Ever expanding. And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity? Even if it's just for a short while. Listen, we don't worry about ourselves before we were born, do we? Of course not. We emerge from the universe as we return to it. And for one beautiful moment, we are here together.
Yes, that certainly was an interesting perspective, Barrett.
Ah, yes. I remember you. The wedding. I was so happy for both of you. I wish the circumstances of my visit were better. Unfortunately, this isn't the first Constellation funeral I've been to. After 35 years, you say goodbye to a lot of friends. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I feel numb just thinking about it. Sarah meant the world to me. She was the future. I knew it as soon as I met her. Oh yes, I was Sebastian Banks's protege, if that gives you any idea of how long I was part of our little club. Knew him, argued with him, tried to carry on his memory when he vanished. Sebastian will be back tomorrow, we always used to say. It reminded us that he was still here, in the bones of this old building. Exactly the same as when you met her, I bet. Determined, fearless, with just a small hint of delight on her face when she knew she was winning, eh? My only problem as a mentor was trying to convince her to be more tactful. Those old military instincts would always get her in trouble. Yes, she could make me so angry, or so happy. We used to joke that we were married. I bet relationships in Constellation are still messy, aren't they? We're more of a family than an organization. All the former lines bleed together. It makes the losses sting harder. But I hope it means the time you had together was all the more important. That's how I like to think of it anyway.
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. It's not much. I haven't really been sleeping much. I'm not having the best dreams right now. Good. Good. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying. Could you excuse me?
You know, what you're feeling right now is a chemical reaction whose evolutionary goal is promoting social cohesion. Never seems to work for me. No matter how many times I do this, I feel less attached, not more. They're always hard, always. And it's okay to sob, to yell, to go to sleep, do whatever it takes. As long as your grief doesn't cause more grief for yourself or anybody else, it's okay. I don't remember. I'm sure I did. I thought when the funeral was over, when everyone went home that night, that it was over. Turns out, sometimes you need more than that. Well, look at us. Two lone wolves howling at the moon on the same night. You know, if there's one piece of advice I can actually give you, it's that lost loved ones have a way of coming back to you. One day you'll be sweeping out some old shelf or digging through a desk, and there it'll be. Some old paperweight of theirs, or a piece of jewelry they gave you, half jokingly. Theoretically, of course. Nope, not even for a moment. Funerals are there to remind survivors that they aren't alone. The dead have already finished their part in our story. You're welcome.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking to people at funerals, but, well. You don't believe in the afterlife, do you? I mean, this might be the worst time to bring it up, but... Yes. Won't we all? Well, I've taken up enough of your time.
It almost feels wrong to be grieving. Selfish. No amount of tears will bring the dead back. It's just easier to feel guilty, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, hi. I've lost everything. Again. It's just that I feel so alone. With Sarah, it was like starting a family again. The way she'd smile at me reminded me of my mom. I missed that so much. Now she's gone, and I have to start over, like I did before. It's not the same. Sarah was starting to feel like, well, like she was my new mom. I really don't want to go through this again. It's too hard. I can't believe Sarah's gone. It's not fair. Really? You mean it? I would love for that to be true. Hey, thanks for talking to me. I'm actually feeling a little better knowing that you care how I feel. Maybe I'm not so alone after all.
I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. No, I don't. I'm programmed to analyze sensory and biometric data, so I can cross-reference. But I do not feel, as you seem to imply. I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to improve your current psychological trauma. If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language to my programming. Very well.
Hi. No. And don't keep asking. I'm not gonna be, alright? Everything's worse now. So many people here. So many people saying goodbye. Is this supposed to make everything okay? Make everyone feel better? It's just... it doesn't change anything, does it? I just feel like I want to be a million light years away from everyone. I want to be alone for a while, okay?
Is it quieter in the lodge, or is it just me? Death is a bastard. Comes for us all. You know, there's an old Aquila story about two pioneers who got lost trying to find a new frontier to settle. One of them takes ill. Clear he's not gonna make it, he turns to his partner and says, "Don't bury me. Let the ground take what it's due. I'd rather be a ghost chasing after you than walk through the pearly gates knowing an eternity of loneliness until you get there." Sad story, huh? You look after yourself.
Drink? Pour one out to the blackest sea? Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space, to the great beyond. Aye.
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion. After the shock of what happened faded, I have felt nothing else. Just a numbness. I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But this is... it is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense. Thank you.
looking to start something? 'Cause I'll finish it.
Need something?
All right, Jazz. What do you got?
According to the latest, the comm spike is being developed at UC Star Station SY-920. Location undisclosed.
Fantastic. So how do we disclose it?
We could lean on your smuggling contact. Call in that favor. You know who I mean.
Our friend on Jemison. Nice one, Jazz. I'll make the arrangements. All right, Rook. Next stop, New Atlantis. Your connection is Juan Dayu. She's got most of the premium UC smuggling routes locked down tight. If you don't piss her off, she should be able to sneak you past SY-920's security.
Just remember to count your fingers after you shake hands with her.
You're in the fleet. You should always expect trouble. As far as Juan goes, even though she's one of our newer contacts, you shouldn't have any problems dealing with her. Definitely. We're talking cargo depots, star yards, research stations, and, like in SY-920's case, military outposts. I've never seen someone new to the game have so many contacts. It's the reason we let her join up in the first place. I don't know how she accomplished that. We've been trying to crack some of those places for years. I sure hope so. Because she might be our only crack at finding a decent decryption device. Once Juan gets you past the guard dogs, it's gonna be on you to locate the comm spike. According to the data we have, it's in the prototype phase, meaning there should only be a single device aboard the station.
Basically, you break it, you bought it. We paid good money for the information, so I'm sure it works. And if it doesn't, a certain source at Mast is gonna have to deal with a very pissed off Neva, and that would be the end of that. You just bring the tech here, I'll do the rest.
Oh, and one more thing. SY-920 is a UC military installation. That means it's guarded by heavily armed troops. And we both know those idiots don't mess around. If you intend to turn the place into a shooting gallery, you might want to be sure you're hauling an arsenal, because you're gonna need it. Are you kidding? The UC's already painted giant red crosshairs on our backs. Keyway and his pals at SysDef won't rest until we're dead. It's not like you can make them any angrier at us, right? Shoot the place full of holes if you want. Just bring back that comm spike. She's got the clout to get you in the front door. They're gonna think you're part of a regular supply delivery. Beyond that, you and Juan are gonna have to put your heads together and come up with a plan. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so I'm gonna arrange a meeting with Juan at Kay's place in the well. In the meantime, I'll make sure Jazz comes up with a solution to the electromagnetic atmosphere problem at Bannock 4.
Oh, okay. You'll make sure? More like, get drunk while Jazz does all the hard work. Typical.
Privileges of rank, my darling. We'll discuss it a little later. And you, get the hell out of here. And don't come back without that comm spike in your cargo bay. I'm gonna leave that up to you, Rook. If you get into deep trouble, and you think bringing her into the fold is gonna make the difference, tell her whatever you want. At some point, Delgado's gonna be promising everyone their cut of Crix's legacy. If we want him to stick with the fleet, it's inevitable. But until the money's within reach, the less people that know, the better. The Crimson Fleet made contact with her about a year ago. We were searching for a smuggling connection in UC space, and her name kept popping up repeatedly, so I decided to put her to the test. Not only did she pass, but the results were off the charts. Made us both a ton of credits. That was good enough for me. Beyond that, I don't know much about her. But hey, as long as she keeps my gal bank account humming, she can keep all the secrets she wants.
Hit me up if you got questions. You've got stuff to smuggle, I've got the stuff to hide it.
Your neighbor's new recruit? Careful, walls have ears. SY-920 is one of my regular stops, so I already have the necessary approvals. Neva says you're after a piece of UC tech. So to get it, we're going to need to get you on board. I can do that. but I have conditions. Good. If I can be candid, for this job to work, we'll have to do this my way. We take my ship, and you're a member of my crew. But make no mistake, once you board, the risk is entirely yours. This route is highly lucrative, and sacrificing it is not an option. It's not personal. If you're caught, that entire installation will be on you. There's nothing I can do for you at that point, except send flowers to your next of kin. Look, I know I don't have a lot of history with the fleet, but I'm putting my reputation and ship on the line for this. That alone should tell you enough. Good, then we have a deal. In any case, when you're ready, meet me at my ship. It's the Jade Swan. And make sure you're prepared for the long haul. Once you're on board SY-920, you can't come and go as you please.
So I told them.
I'd like to, but I need to keep a low profile. In my experience, the more people know about you, the more they have over you. True, but silence is a powerful thing. I find the best way to get to know someone is to watch them work. Talking just muddies the picture. Anyways, I appreciate the small talk. Delgado's crew aren't usually so chatty. But let's keep our focus on the mission. We can swap bar stories and share scars when we've got enough creds to buy the bar and fix the scars. Only what I've been told. Get you on the SY-920, get you out if I can. That being said, I can be a better guide if I know what it is we're after. So, it's up to you. Fine by me. If this goes bad, the less I know, the better. And if I do get caught, there'll be nothing to confess to. Enough to be on the first-name basis with the Marines working the comms. It also helps they want us to dock. The cargo ship means supplies, special requests, slates from home. In the void of space, a cargo hauler is a soldier's best friend. We'll talk more on the ship.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand?
So, when did you stop flying the Swan, anyway?
When the cargo became more valuable than the ship.
True. The fleet's got us real busy these days, and we are making good money smuggling all this contraband. But if any time was the right time for a break...
Hey, there's still work to do. I need to check with my contacts at the spaceport and find out what guards are on rotation when we leave port. Then it's back to the key to make sure Delgado gets his cut, and to make sure he hasn't cut us out. I worry sometimes that being in New Atlantis, we're missing out on the big scores. I know that old dog has something big planned. I can feel it.
Sheesh, that is a lot to think about. And here I thought the pirate life was carefree.
Maybe for some people, but that's not how I work.
Well, you feel free to plan our next moves from now to the new year. I'm all about living in the present and being where your feet are.
That's fine. Just make sure to wipe those feet before boarding my ship.
Always nice to see a fresh face.
surgeon you mean was looking for you.
Hi. How you doing?
Yes, what?
As long as the credits keep rolling in, life's good.
Hello.
Howdy, excuse me. Always looking for the next one.
Glad you're in the fleet. If you weren't, I would have killed you already.
Pardon.
All right, a few things to note. When we get to the checkpoint, UC military will be hailing us. Let me do the talking. Pretend you're a piece of cargo if you have to. Of course, I don't expect it to be. Now, like I said before, once we take off, there's no turning back until this job is done. If you need to take care of anything before we leave, do it. If you want to ask me any other questions, go for it. All right, then get comfortable. We leave for SY-920 immediately.
All crew prepare for takeoff. Routing power to engine and grab drive. All systems go.
We'll graph jump the SY-920 from here. Don't worry about your personal ship. The fleet will make sure it's secure. You can take this time to prepare. Just try not to bother my pilot while they're flying.
Don't worry, Captain. I've spent half my life walking and chewing gum at the same time. I can handle a little banter.
Sounds like you're putting in a request for double duty.
Captain, I retract my earlier statement. For the record, I don't even like gum.
Noted. Just get us there safe.
Roger that.
You've entered secure UC military space. Identify yourself or you will be considered hostile.
This is Captain Huan Daiyu, cargo ship ID UC-7938, requesting permission to dock.
Identity confirmed. Prepare your ship for scanning. You're cleared to dock in docking bay 2.
Looks like we're clear. We'll talk more once we're docked. Okay, we're in. First things first. The station is enormous, with checkpoints everywhere. To get past them, you'll need a military uniform. And to get a uniform, you'll need to get to the barracks. There should be a way through the vents. You can get to them via the maintenance store downstairs. There's an intercom there as well, where we can make contact. Once you get a uniform, it should be fairly easy to find an elevator to the command bay. But if at any point your cover's blown, I'm gone. Provided you haven't sounded the alarm, then yeah, like I said, if you can find an intercom, I'll keep a channel open. This is a star station, so there are plenty of ventilation ducts you can slither into. As far as tactics go, it's an oldie, but goodie. Only military personnel are allowed out of the cargo area. That's why we need to get you to the barracks to find you a uniform. I would hope not. But if they do, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Either way, for now, get on that station and find that intercom. We'll talk more then.
Yes.
Hey.
You with the Jade Swan? Loading and unloading only. Stay clear of the military barracks. Do your job, keep your head down, and we won't have trouble.
What's the serial number?
With the change in leadership, security's been beefed up.
Another day, another patrol.
State your business. Logging ensign level clearance. Go on ahead.
I've heard the technology in the station would make the FC surrender before we even started.